Welcome back. I'm Red here at REDtone Studio with yet another mic shootout today. As you saw or heard in the opener today, I'm comparing two very similar mics, both from MXL, and these are both large diaphragm condenser mics and for sure on the budget end of the spectrum. Now I'm not going to go into too many details here on what they look like or what they are voiced to sound like, but really what it comes down to is how they sound on multiple sources in your studio when this mic might be the only mic you have. Or it might be your first condenser mic that you purchase. First though, like always, I need to set up how these are tested. I own both of these mics, so my review is not compromised by any outside sources, and my views are my views alone. They are both being ran through the same preamp today, my new Cappy VP312s that I've built recently, and you can see that video over here. I'm running these as clean as possible so there isn't any outside forces at play with running them into a preamp and then causing distortion. This should be fairly similar to running them direct into your interface. Now both of these mics need 48 volt phantom power, and in my studio this is the easiest way for me to power these mics. So that's it for the setup. We're going to run through some standard sources through both of these mics at the same time. So hit subscribe, leave a comment if you have one or both of these, and let's dive in. First up, as always, is spoken word. This is a microphone test between the MXL 990 and the MXL v67g. For spoken word, these are both being ran through my new Cappy VP312s into my interface, which is an Allen & Heath QU16. This is a microphone test between the MXL 990 and the MXL v67g. For spoken word, these are both being ran through my new Cappy VP312s into my interface, which is an Allen & Heath QU16. This is a microphone test between the MXL 990 and the MXL v67g. For spoken word, these are both being ran through my new Cappy VP312s into my interface, which is an Allen & Heath QU16. Next up, we have the usual male baritone vocals. If you guys would like to hear something else from me, please let me know, but this is the song that I use. You're the kind of trouble I want, and you're the kind of trouble I crave. Love you gave to me, baby, will put me in the grave. You're the kind of trouble I want, and you're the kind of trouble I crave. Love you gave to me, baby, will put me in the grave. You're the kind of trouble I want, and you're the kind of trouble I crave. Love you gave to me, baby, will put me in the grave. Now, let's try some acoustic guitar. Since I haven't tuned my Mando up in a while, let's give that a try. Now, I always like to try condenser mics like these as room mics for drums. I feel that this is where the budget mics can really shine, even in bigger, more expensive studios. Sometimes just a cheap trash mic in some odd corner can really sound good being crushed and pushed way back into a mix. So let's try that here too. Now, these are some budget mics. Something we should be aware of is the self noise and what they could be adding to your mix. If one of these is your only mic and it is on every track, this extra noise can start to build up. So I'm going to turn off as much stuff in my studio as possible and crank the gain and see what we can hear. Alright, now I'm back with my thoughts. But before I tell you mine, why don't you let me know yours down there in the comments? What did you think? Which one would you choose? Now, I found it really hard to pick a winner in this one. I felt that the v67g was just a little bit more warm. This is what I have found as well when I put it up against some of my more expensive mics. I found it held its own quite well. The 990 was a little bit more bitey or nasally for my taste. Really though, if this is your only budget, you really can't go wrong with either one of these. I felt that the self noise was softer and not as noticeable on the v67g, and now I had the preamps cranked for both of these, and you probably wouldn't do that in real life. But the 990 had a low end rumble that I feel could really muddy up the mix. So my winner for this test is the MXL v67g. Do you guys agree? who's going to go out and pick one of these up? Let me know. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.